Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden rebuild. Today, we are going to be doing a challenge that I have yet to actually take on. I've done a few different challenges in the past. I've done the only drafting rebuilds. I've done the certain playbook challenges. I've done a couple different challenges so far on the channel. But this one, I have not done just yet, and I haven't even done it, I don't think, on any other previous Madden, at least that I've recorded. So, today, we are going to be trying to rebuild a team, but starting with a fantasy draft. I know it's a creative idea. It's one of a kind. No other Madden YouTuber has ever thought of this idea. Juice is one of a kind. I understand. You don't have to show me all your praise. I already feel it. So today we're going to be trying to do a fantasy draft and then rebuild whatever team we end up drafting and hopefully end up winning a championship. So come along for the ride. I hope you guys are going to enjoy. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get this rebuild started. So we are here at the main screen. I am the Jacksonville Jaguars because the Jaguars aren't really in need of a rebuild in real life anyway. They're pretty much set for the future. So I figured, you know what? If I'm going to ever do a Jaguars rebuild, I might as well use them as the team for my fantasy draft. So that's what I've chosen. And as you can see, we can click this button right here and start a fantasy draft. I'm not really sure where I want to be picking, because obviously if we're picking in the top of the draft, then we're obviously going to be picking later in the next rounds because it's a serpentine style. So I don't know which way. Probably the middle, the high middle is where I would most likely want to be picking. I don't know. Let's not speculate any longer. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into it and find out where we are picking. So start fantasy draft. Yes, sir. We are picking. Joe Burrow got taken. I can't see where we're picking. What number are we picking? Oh, Madden. Oh, okay, we're picking number 4. Okay, perfect. Madden is just bad. We are picking number 4. I am going to pause the draft. That's not great. I mean, obviously it's great because we're going to get a good player, a really good player. We could get Lamar Jackson. We could get Jalen Hurts. This is where the rebuild really begins. We have to figure out who we want to build this team around. Who do we want to be the cornerstones of the team? Obviously, a guy like Aaron Donald is unbelievably talented, but he's old. He's 32. He's not going to be that good a couple years from now. Same thing with like a Travis Kelce. We've seen in plenty of rebuilds where Travis Kelce falls in overall because he starts to regress 2-3 years down the line. We're not going to, even though Zach Martin is a Hall of Fame player and one of the best guards I've ever watched in my life, he is probably not going to be our first round pick. Tyreek Hill would be phenomenal. He is 29. Debo, I think, is what, 27, 28, 27. Debo would be an interesting one. I probably would have taken Joe Burrow if I had a higher pick. Devontae Adams is a little too old. Cooper Kupp, same deal. But Cooper Kupp always wins Offensive Player of the Year. So maybe that's one. But then you got guys like Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Micah Parsons. There's so many good players. That's why I didn't want to draft this high, because I didn't want to have to make this decision. So hold off. Let's see who's gone already. So we have, obviously Mahomes is gone. Joe Burrow is gone. We know those two guys are for sure gone. Justin Herbert got taken as well. No, Justin Herbert's still here. Who got taken then? Who are the other players gone? Because if Myles Garrett might be my pick. But if Myles Garrett is still here, who were the other 2 draft picks? Parsons is still here. I can't honestly, I'm blanking on who else would have been at the top of the draft. Who are there, would have been quarterbacks? It wouldn't have been quarterbacks, would it? Who else would have been good? Because obviously like Aaron Rodgers is still here and stuff. And Lamar Jackson's still here. Jalen Hurts is still here. Josh Allen's still here. I'm not sure who would have been the other 2 picks. I can't honestly think of who's that good of an overall. I don't know. But I think Myles Garrett's going to be my pick. He's 27. He's a 98 overall. He's unbelievable. He's arguably the best defensive player in the NFL. At pick number 4, I don't think we can pass up on Myles Garrett. So that is my pick. He was ranked number 2 in 2 talent. We took him. It says number 3, but we had pick number 4, I'm pretty sure. And Myles Garrett is our first round pick. Devontae Smith goes right before us in round 2. I doubt Micah Parsons is still here. Yeah, Micah Parsons is gone, unfortunately. That's probably who I would have taken. Paired Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett, that would have been amazing. Debo's still here. They have him as a running back. I would probably move him to wide receiver if I was going to draft him. Nick Chubb, Saquon. Okay, all the good quarterbacks are gone. Or at least all the decent quarterbacks are gone. This is tricky because we could... I don't know when CJ Stroud's going to go. I feel like CJ Stroud is the guy that we should get. I just don't know when he's going to go off the board is the problem. Because they're higher rated quarterbacks, but the CPU values young quarterbacks in fantasy drafts, obviously. So I don't know when he's going to go off the board is the only problem. Does he make it to round 3? I don't know if I can risk it. Because I'm sure a lot of these guys will still be here. Like, obviously, Zach Martin will still be here. Kelsey will probably still be here. I doubt any of these running backs will be here. I don't know if we can pass up on, like, a Christian McCaffrey type, though. He's also 27. Can we pass up on Christian McCaffrey to take CJ Stroud? There's a bunch of good running backs that we could grab. Like, Christian McCaffrey is obviously phenomenal. But, I mean, we could pick up a Jonathan Taylor or a Bijan even. There's other running backs we can grab, but there's not a whole lot of quarterbacks that I want. I think I'm going to take CJ at round number 2. That might be a very big reach. It says I reached 104, ranked 104, but I don't know if I can let him go another round. I wasn't sure when he was going to go. And now we don't have to worry about quarterback in this rebuild. So, I don't think I could pass up on that. So, as far as the running backs, we don't have... Oh, we have Bijan. I might take Bijan. Although Jonathan Taylor's also really good, and he's only 24. Oh, the running backs are really good. And McCaffrey's still here, by the way, so that's decent. There's still some good receivers on the board. I don't know where to go, man. I mean, we could still take Zach Martin. We could get our offensive line pretty much figured out. I guess this isn't Serpentine. This is a fixed draft. I thought I switched it to Serpentine, but whatever. I just noticed that now. Why does Kevin Byard not have a picture? What happened to Kevin Byard? I don't know where to go with this next pickup, man. It's round 3. We have our franchise quarterback and we have our franchise pass rush. Oh, TJ Watt. TJ Watt probably got drafted in the top 4 or the top 3, whatever it was. That's the other person that got drafted because I didn't notice TJ Watt, or I didn't see him on there. So that's probably who got taken. I don't want to get Travis Kelsey. Any tight end would be good if we just turn into the Kansas City playbook. So tight end doesn't really matter. Do we just work on the offensive line already and get like the greatest offensive line of all time? But we don't have a running back to work around. But there are so many good running... This is why I hate doing fantasy drafts. Because there's so many good running backs. I don't know when to take the right one. And who is the right one? Is Bijan the right one? Is Devon Achane the right one? Is Alvin Kamara... Alvin Kamara probably not because he's a little bit older. Taylor's only 24. Josh Jacobs is young. Like, there's so many good running back options. I don't know who to take. I know for a fact that I got to get a good running back. Jonathan Taylor being 24 is very enticing, but Bijan being 21 is even more enticing. I don't think I can pass up on Bijan. We're taking Bijan Robinson in the 3rd round. I know that's probably a little bit of a reach. I probably could have gotten another running back and gotten somebody else. So Zach Martin finally goes off the board. Okay. Where do we go now? We probably need to focus on offensive line. How old is Lane Johnson? He's 33. Trent Williams is old too. He's 35. Debo is still there. I'm very tempted to take Debo and just turn him into a receiver. But we could also get Vita Vea, who's good. Quentin Nelson's still on the board, so I might take Quentin Nelson later. But I think I'm going to take Debo. I'm going to take Debo. We're just going to turn him back into a receiver, and CJ Stroud's got himself a big weapon. He's only 27, so I like that pickup. Jonathan Allen goes. So now we got Joel Bitonio. Vita Vea still on the board. Quentin Nelson got taken. Oh, no, he didn't get taken. He just moved down the board a little bit. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. I thought because he was like right up here with Jonathan Taylor previously, so I thought he got taken, but he didn't. He's still on the board. I might take Vita Vea, but also I just saw Jalen Carter down there. Remember, we're doing a fantasy draft rebuild, so we have to, this isn't just simulating one season. We have to think about future seasons. So taking a guy like Vita Vea, who's 28, is not as good of an idea as taking a guy like Jalen Carter, who's what, 22, 21? 22. That is, and I've seen Jalen Carter turn into a 99 many times in simulations. So that is also a very enticing thing. But do I take Quentin Nelson? Because Quentin Nelson's what, 27? Yeah, 27. I'm taking Quentin Nelson. We got to have a franchise guard, and he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best. So Quentin Nelson taken. Who do I take now? Probably Jalen Carter got grabbed. That's unbelievable. I thought I had him. I was going to take him with that pick. Quentin Nelson probably would have been there, Juice. Oh, Quentin Nelson probably makes it to this round, but Jalen Carter I should have taken. That's so stupid. Kevin Byard's 30. We're going to pass on him. God, I'm dumb. I should have taken him. I should have taken Jalen Carter. What am I doing? I'm not that dumb. Okay. So with that being a mistake that we made, we now have to, ooh, I should probably get another receiver, although I have Debo, and there's some pretty decent receivers down here a little bit, but maybe I should get a number 2, or maybe it's not the time for a number 2, because I'd probably go like a George Pickens type, because he is only 22 years old. I think I'm going to take George Pickens. That might have been a little bit of reach. He could have probably been there, but solidifying the offense is pretty important. And look, Gabe Davis got taken, so maybe he wouldn't have been there. Joe Tooney, Demario Davis. How old is Joe Tooney at this point? He's 30. Probably want to pass on that. Man, I wish I would have gotten stupid. What's his face? Oh, that's so stupid. I wish I would have gotten Jalen Carter. Corners. We need a number 1 corner, and I might have missed the opportunity to get a number 1 corner. But luckily for me, draft classes, auto-generated draft classes usually have good corners almost every single time, so it's not a big deal that we missed out on corner. It's just going to be one of our weaker positions to start. But you got guys like Trent McDuffie who you can turn into a good corner, and Derek Stingley down the board a little bit. Okay, so we can wait on corner a slight bit more. Not too much more, but we can wait a little bit. Middle linebacker. We need good linebackers, but I might have missed my opportunity to get a good linebacker. The defense is not going to be as good, is it? I got to grab Will Anderson. I know that we have Myles Garrett. Can't pass up on Will Anderson. I thought he'd be gone, to be honest. So now our defensive line's really good with Myles Garrett and Will Anderson. That's a dominant defensive line. Receivers are still pretty good. We're still waiting on that. Tight end, like I said, we don't have to worry about a tight end if we just move to the Kansas City playbook. We don't have any offensive linemen yet, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem. How old is Orlando Brown at this point? 27. I feel like I'm drafting every 27-year-old. There's usually always good tackles in draft classes. It's just a matter of if we can get up to draft one of them. Oh, Jason Kelsey's here? I know Jason Kelsey's old. Oh, Tyler Linderbaum's there, though. Okay, so maybe we go for Tyler Linderbaum because he's a little bit younger. Oh, a lot of bit younger than Jason Kelsey is. There's still some offensive linemen that I can grab. But the defensive line is not looking good, at least for D-tackle. How old is Hargrave? He's 30. I don't really know where to go. Jordan Poyer's 32. Oh, now I'm back in D-tackles. Figure it out, Madden. Figure it out. This might have to be the time. Wow, Stingley got taken. Man, I am really underestimating the value of these younger players. Derek Stingley got grabbed. That's not good. I think I want to take Logan Wilson. He's 27. Man, I'm just grabbing every 27-year-old, aren't I? But also JOK is here, and we know JOK develops. But I don't think I can pass up on Logan Wilson. So I'm going to grab Logan Wilson with this pick. Got to build that defense. Got to have a good linebacker. Kalijah Cansey got drafted. Okay. Matt Milano's a little bit older. Darren Waller. All the old guys are here. I don't want any of the old guys, at least not right now. Maybe I can grab them later. Maybe I can grab the old guys later. Puka Nakua's still here. I'm going to pick up Puka. I'm going to pick up Puka with this pick. He's only 22, super young. Pair him alongside Debo. Hopefully we put the right offense around CJ. We should be good year one, I would think. I'm only going to draft a few rounds, and then we'll let the CPU handle most of it. Tyler Linderbaum I'm going to grab right now. So we'll have our franchise center. We already have our left guard in Quentin Nelson. The offensive line right now is getting put together pretty well. There are obviously a few holes, but isn't there always a few holes? Left tackle, I might take Orlando Brown because he was 27. What about Deion Dawkins? He's 29, so a little bit older. Is Deion Dawkins really 29? That's crazy. Or we could go a different route and take a rookie, like a Braxton Jones. He's got star development. He's 24. Do we want to go for the higher overall or the youth? I feel like the youth would be a little bit better, and I'm probably going to miss out on him, aren't I? Because I'm passing up drafting him right now. So I'm going to miss out on him. There's not a lot of right guards that I want. I just saw Paris Johnson Jr., so I think that's who I'm going to grab. You know what? I'm going to screw when they're going to get drafted. I'm taking Paris Johnson Jr. Yeah, it's a reach, but that's our franchise right tackle. And now, barring any mistakes, I'm going to take whoever I was just talking about. Who was it? Was it left guard? Peter Skoronski. I can make him a right guard. Who was I just talking about? Was it a tackle? Oh, it was Braxton Jones. That's right. Do I want to take Braxton Jones to be our left tackle? Is he better than like a Broderick Jones or a Trevor Penning? Who do we think is better? 74 overall. Who's going to develop? That's the problem. I don't know. I'm going to go for Braxton Jones simply on the fact that he's a higher overall out the gate. So that's who we're going to have. So we have our left tackle, our left guard, our center, and a right tackle. So all we need is a right guard, I'm pretty sure. And then our offensive line is pretty much done. And we've got any young guys in here? City So, I do like, or City Sao, I don't know how to pronounce his name. What about left guards that we can turn into a right guard? Sayamalu, Tyler Smith. There's Peter Skoronski again. I might just take Peter Skoronski and turn him into a right guard. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take Skoronski and just move him to right guard. He'll be fine. It's Madden. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, now we've got our offensive line figured out. We need to get the rest of the positions. There's Jalen Petrie. I'm going to take Jalen Petrie. We know he can develop pretty well. So that is our strong safety figured out. Who else do we want? We got to go for youth. Got to go for the youth. Free safeties. There's not really a ton of free safeties that are young. Jartavius Martin or Jason Pinnock. Does he develop? I don't know. I don't know if he develops or not. I don't think we have any corners. We're not going to be very good at corner, are we? There's Deron Bland. I do like Deron Bland. Yeah, Deron Bland. Are there any rookie corners down? There's Emmanuel Forbes. Okay, so there are some solid corners down the board that we can still grab. We need a middle linebacker. We don't have any middle linebackers. Caden Ellis. I know likey. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to take... I'm just going to grab people that I want at this point. I'm going to grab Deron Bland with this pick. Then we're going to come back. We're going to take another corner. And then I'll probably take one other player, maybe. Maybe we'll get to like the 20s, and then we'll go from there. How are the kickers? Justin Tucker's still here? Okay. I'm grabbing Justin Tucker just because might as well not have to worry about kicker. And if we need a field goal kick in the Super Bowl, might as well have the greatest kicker of all time. All right, let's go to corner, or probably free safety, and grab, let's just grab maybe Jason Pinnock, 24 at normal development. Jartavius Martin has star, so we'll go with Jartavius Martin. And I hope that he will develop. Where's he at? Did he get taken? Jartavius. Oh, Jartavius got taken. Okay. Well, that's not good. We could go, I mean, I guess we could go with Jason Pinnock. Or Cam Bynum. He's 25, no normal development. Let's just take, we could take Tony Adams. We'll take Pinnock. We know he's young. He's 24. Maybe he'll develop. Who knows? We could probably just draft a safety if we need to. Probably could just draft one. So now we're in a weird spot where there's, how many receivers are left? Not a whole lot of like amazing ones. There's Noah Brown. Noah Brown could be fun. He's having a good season with CJ in real life. But Jalen Hyatt, ooh, Jalen Hyatt and Josh Downs. Okay, let's take them because Jalen Hyatt's super fast. And in this team, we only have Puka and Debo. So it's not like we have a ton of people ahead of him. Let me grab, I probably should grab a tight end just to be safe. Let's grab, who's a younger tight end? Are any of the young rookie tight ends available? Isaiah Likely's young. Darnell Washington. I mean, we could turn any of these guys into a superstar with Chiefs playbook. It's just a matter of who I want. Do I want Luke Musgrave? Because he's pretty young. Brenton Strange. I do enjoy Darnell Washington. I think I want Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington's going to be my guy. He's my tight end. Okay, so we've got 3 receivers. I'll grab one more receiver. And that was going to be either Noah Brown or who was the other guy down here? Did he get taken? Or is he still here? Oh, I think he got taken. Man, I am not good at that. I am not good at making... It was Josh Downs. That's who it was. I'm not good at having those guys stay around. Okay, so now that Josh Downs is gone, we could grab Sky Moore for some speed, or we could just take the guy I've been saying the entire time in Noah Brown. I know Noah Brown's a little bit older, 27, but I'm grabbing every 27-year-old, so why not grab another one? All right, so our wide receiver room is done. We've obviously got our quarterback, got our running back. We've got Bijan. Do we need a second running back? Probably not. But it wouldn't hurt to take a look. Deuce Vaughn, we could get the little short dude. Where is the... Ooh, there's Rachaad White. That wouldn't be a bad shout. Did the dude from the Chiefs get taken? The one that always wins like Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year? It looks like he did, because I don't think he's this low of an overall. Yeah, he's not. He's definitely not in the low 70s, so he must have got taken at some point. I don't know when he got taken, probably a lot earlier than what I was thinking. But let's go with... Let's grab Rachaad White as our backup running back for Bijan. Just to have. I don't think we're going to need one, but it never hurts to have one. And then we will go and grab probably one more corner. Do I need to grab another corner? Oh, yeah, for sure I need to grab another corner. I thought I grabbed another one, but I must have passed it off for somebody else. Benjamin St. Juice could be interesting. Burnt Toast. Is there any other young rookies? I'm guessing Emmanuel Forbes got taken. It looks like he did. Greedy Williams. Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo never really develops. Only normal development, man-to-man. We'll take him. He can be on the team. All right, what draft pick are we even at now? We are at round 23. Okay, I'll go 25, and then we'll let the CPU handle the rest. I'll grab one more corner, just so I can have 3 corners that I actually drafted. And we'll take, probably Benjamin St. Juice. It's looking like it. I don't want anybody this low of an overall. So let's take St. Juice. He's like a 74, right? Yeah, 74. And then we will grab, what, one more player, 2 more players? I don't even know. I don't even know where to go, really. Do we go, probably defense at some point. So 24, we'll probably have to get a linebacker. Alexander, all these guys are a little bit older. Caden Ellis, he's not super old, but he doesn't have a development trait, which could hurt him. Are there any rookie running back or linebackers? Micah McFadden. I think he's too low of an overall, though. A lot of these guys are a little bit too overall. I don't think we can risk it. I think if we're going to go with anybody, we go Caden Ellis. Just because he's a high overall, 76. And he's, oh, but he's 28. I didn't realize he was older. Probably not the best idea. But it takes such a steep drop-off after that. It's kind of annoying. Troy Anderson is fast. He's only 24. Let's go Troy Anderson. Middle linebacker, Troy Anderson, figured out. So we've got Logan Wilson. We've got Troy Anderson. Do we have another linebacker? I think we do. What's our team look like? We got C.J. Stroud. We've got Debo, Bijan. Oh, but Debo's going to be a wide receiver. George Pickens, Puka, Noah Brown, Jalen Hyatt, and Debo. Darnell Washington, a tight end. We've got a left tackle. We've got our guards. We've got a center. We've got a right tackle, Will Anderson Jr., Myles Garrett. No D tackles. No left outside linebacker. 3 corners, a safety, and both safeties. Okay, so we need... I'll draft 1 D tackle, and I'll draft 1... What was the other position that we needed? I'll draft 1 left outside linebacker. That's what it was. And then we will call it a day. So D tackle, we're not going to get anybody that's young, I wouldn't think. At least nobody that's young that's actually going to have good development. But maybe. No, nobody down. I don't want anybody down here. We're just going to grab... Who's a fun player that we can grab? I mean, we can grab Ndamukong Suh. Oh, at least we know our holes for the draft. We're going to need D tackle for sure. Let's just grab... How old is Tim Settle Jr.? Probably not too old. 26. At that point, I'd rather just grab like a bigger name, I guess. Let's just grab Linval Joseph. How old is he? He's 34, whatever. He's going to be a D tackle for a year, I guess. It's not a big deal. So we'll grab him, and then we'll go 1 more pick. We'll take our left end, or left outside linebacker, and then we will simulate the rest. Who is my left outside linebacker? There's got to be somebody. One of these players wants to play on this team. I could just go Buckeye, Tyreek Smith. At a 66, probably not the smartest idea. So maybe we go a little bit higher overall. O'Shane Ximenez, how old is he? He's 26. We could go with Ximenez, or we could just go like, who's Chase Winovich kind of a bad player. Kyler Fackrell, I can't even say his name. Let's just go Ximenez. Who cares? That'll be the final player. I'll simulate the rest of the draft, and we'll see who the CPU picks up for me. But I feel like we got ourselves a lot of good youth. I mean, picking up... I'm still upset we didn't get Jalen Carter. I thought he would be there. I should have switched it. We took Jalen Carter because obviously Quentin Nelson was going to be there. Offensive linemen never go that high. But I feel like we got a good mix of youth with CJ and Bijan. Getting Bijan's really big. Getting Bijan's really, really big. It's a good jumping off point. It's a good base for the team. Hey, look at that. I just got the trophy for roster reshuffle. That's the first time I've done a fantasy draft. At least you know I'm not telling lies. This is the first time I've done this video. All right. Look at all these young players on the team. And they do have Skoronski playing right guard. Perfect. We are going to just straight up switch Debo to be a wide receiver. Maybe that's why he was still on the board, because he was a running back, and the CPU doesn't value running backs very highly. But now, I'm liking the way this team's looking. And the defense, yeah, the defense is a different story. We're going to really need to work on defense in the draft. But we have some promising pieces with Myles Garrett, with Will Anderson Jr., but the defense we definitely need to work on. I kind of focus pretty heavily on the offense, which is not always a bad thing, especially if we work the right schemes and playbooks. We've got ourselves the best scheme at multiple zone run, and the best defensive scheme is a 3-4 under. I don't hate that. And I'll rock with the Jaguars playbooks for year number 1, because the Jaguars usually make the Super Bowl in simulations. So we'll rock with the Jaguars playbook in year 1. If it starts to, if we don't see a lot of progress or anything, then I'll change it up. Who's the mentor rookie? We got a ton of rookies on this team, so who's the mentor for the rookie? It is, oh, talking about Bijan. I'm wanting long-term development from Bijan. He's gonna be a 99. He is gonna be a 99. Trust me. Getting Bijan's gonna be huge. I know it. So I'm gonna simulate the preseason. I'm gonna simulate all that stuff. I'll catch back up with you with week 1, and we can kind of talk over everything, the draft class and all that stuff, before we start simulating the full season. So I'll catch you guys at week number 1. All right, we've made it to week 1, so we can load up the draft class. And I do want to say that I have a special surprise. When I was simulating the preseason, there was something big that happened, and it looks like we've got a corner number 1, well, number 2 in the class. That's very good. I like that. We need corner. We need defense. So our scouts need to be heavily focused on defense, interior offensive lineman, and defensive end. No thank you. We need corner and, ooh, corner and middle linebacker. I don't hate that combo. You know what? That's going to be my guy. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to butcher it. But you're going to be my national scout. And everything else is fine. So when the time comes, I will tell my national scout to scout either corner or middle linebacker, whatever is the best in the class. And we will go from there. But the special surprise, if we go into the adjust the lineup screen, we are now officially revealed to have Bijan X Factor, because there was a prompt for mentor rookie, and it was Debo mentoring Bijan. And remember when I said long-term development? Well, long-term development means they just gave Bijan X Factor. I'm pretty sure he starts out with Superstar. His hidden development trait is Superstar, but they bumped him up to X Factor. So this is why we took Bijan Robinson, because now CJ already has an X Factor running back who's also a rookie. Boom! I'm Galaxy Brain. I'm a drafting god. How many times do I have to tell you? So right now we are an 84 offense, 80 defense, and an 82 overall. The defense didn't really work out too well, but we'll get that figured out in the actual draft, or in the actual end of season drafts, the rookie drafts. But now it's time to simulate not week number 1, simulate season number 1, and see how this team does. This is just the base team. I haven't made any trades, nothing like that. This is the base team that I drafted in the fantasy draft. We're going to see how good that team does, and I'll catch you guys at the end of the season. Season 1 is in the books, and we've made the playoffs. So my team that I had drafted, the base team that I didn't make any trades to, went 11-6 and makes the wild card. I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say that it's a drafting god. I mean, you let me know. But the fact that we've got freaking CJ Stroud, Bijan, Debo, and George Pickens, the offensive line's looking real good as well. Defense needs a lot of work, but we're going to work on that in the draft. Don't worry. We're going to work on the draft. That's probably why we went 11-6 and not, I don't know, even better. Taking on the Titans in the divisional round or the wild card round of the playoffs. How did CJ do? 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 14 picks. It's a fine rookie season. I'd like to see that interception number down, obviously, but it's an okay one, especially in the Jaguar playbook. Bijan killed it, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Even Debo got a bunch of attempts. So even when we change him to a wide receiver, he still gets 111 carries. That's crazy. Debo's a cheat code. No 1,000-yard receiver. Debo got close, but no 1,000-yard receiver. He had 7 touchdowns. Pickens had 4. Washington had an okay season. Puka did okay. Defensively, 111 tackles for Logan Wilson with 11 tackles for loss. Jordan Hicks had 106, though. I don't even know how he got Jordan Hicks. They must have drafted him in the CPU must have drafted him. Jalen Petrie did okay. Tackle for loss leader was Will Anderson Jr. That's awesome. With 16. 11 for Wilson. 11 for Myles Garrett. 23 sacks for Myles Garrett. The next closest was Will Anderson with 5. 23 sacks. That's why we took Myles Garrett with like the 3rd overall pick, 4th overall pick, whatever we had. A few interceptions, a lot of interceptions from a bunch of different people, okay. But that's why you take Myles Garrett. When you have the opportunity to take Myles Garrett, you take Myles Garrett because he is a beast. Absolute beast. Are we going to be able to beat the Titans? No, we lose 24-21. Of course we do. Of course we do, because Madden doesn't want me to be happy at all. They don't want me to be happy. So season 1 comes to a close with us losing in the wild card round. But we did make the playoffs. We need to go into this off season. Now, since this was a fantasy draft, the free agency is going to be a little bit different than it usually is. There's probably not going to be anybody that great. We don't really even need offensive players. We need defense. We need linebackers. We need corners. We need all kinds of stuff. It is Vikings and Raiders in the Super Bowl, by the way. Very interesting Super Bowl. Obviously, since it's a fantasy draft, we don't know who's on these teams. I could check, but don't want to. Don't want to. Who's going to win? It is Vikings by a million. 42-14 over the Raiders. The Raiders. That's a crazy stat line. That's a crazy victory. Vikings take it. They win their first ever championship? I think so. Kenneth Walker wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's MVP of the league. Jalen Carter's Rookie of the Year on the defense. I wanted you, Jalen. I wanted you. I fumbled the bag. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year, though. That's pretty much a guarantee because he had 23 sacks. Of course he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And we move on to the first offseason. Man, do I wish I had Jalen Carter. Oh, why did I fumble the bag so much? God, I'm stupid. Why would I think that Jalen Carter would make it past that round? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what possessed me to think that. Bijan needs a new contract. Oh, the fantasy draft like messed up everybody's contracts. So Bijan needs a new contract. Well, it's good because we're going to lock him up anyway. 7 years. He wants to be here. Bijan, he's already a 94. Bijan Robinson is already a 94. He's coming back. George Pickens will also return to the squad on a pretty hefty contract, but we can afford it with the money we have. He's coming back as well. Jalen Petrie, I want back. So he doesn't want to be here, so we are going to have to slightly overpay for him. But hopefully in the end, it doesn't end up being an overpay because we've won a championship at this point. And he's coming back. Who else is left? Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. Maybe because you're a Buckeye, I might bring you back. Maybe. Troy Anderson probably should bring back. But everybody else can pretty much just get their walking papers. Unless, you know what? I'm going to bring back Presley Harvin. I enjoy Presley Harvin. So he wants to be here too. We'll pay $2 million for a punter. Sure, why not? And then I'll bring back Petit-Ferrer just because he's a Buckeye. No other reason, but he's a Buckeye. And then Troy Anderson will get back on a good contract, pay him a nice hefty signing bonus, and he's coming back. Everybody else can get their walking papers. You heard me. Hit the bricks. You're getting your walking papers. And we go into free agency. I have no idea how this free agency is going to look because we did the fantasy draft, so anybody could be in here. And there's nobody in here. If punters and fullbacks are at the top of your free agency list, it's not a good class. Just know that. So we don't need a running back, obviously. Taysom Hill's interesting, but I don't want him. He is interesting, though. Romeo Doubs is cool. We're fine with that. Offensive line we're good with. Are we really not going to be able to spend any money in free agency? There's not really anybody here that I want. I had that problem a lot in my rebuilds. There's never really anybody that I want in free agency. Not all the time, at least. Keon Crossan might be a good pickup. Maybe. Although he is 28. Marcus May, no thank you. Ryan Neal at 28. If you were a little bit lower of an age, I probably would pull the trigger on that. If he was 26, I'd probably say yes, please. But I'm going to pass on that. I don't think we're going to spend any money. We are going to go straight to the draft. I have no idea if we're going to have a good pick or not. Probably not. Since we made the wild card, we probably have like a pick in the high teens, low 20s. Maybe like 19, 20, 21, I would guess, is where our pick is going to be at. We're not going to get that corner unless we trade up to get him. Do we want to trade up to get the corner? Is that a good idea? I mean, he's going to be probably pretty good. And I did use my Week 11 focus points on him. So we know 100% because I used also my national scouting on corners. So we know basically like 95% on every corner. But for that guy, I used my extra points, so we know 100% on him. And he's a true top 5 talent. I mean, why does there have to be a good corner? He's not really even that good of an athlete, but he's got A, man coverage, and B, zone coverage. Is it worth trading up for him? I mean, he's a great player. He's probably going to be really good. But is it worth trading up to get him? I don't even know. Oh, this tight end looks amazing. Oh, my God. Eric Harris. Eric Harris looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The rest of the corners, wow, this guy's a day 3 talent, true talent. Yikes. Is there any corners in this class? Or are we just like not in a good spot right now? What is happening here? This guy's 6'5", but he can't cover. Why is he playing corner? He's not a zone corner. He's a man-to-man corner at 6'5". I'm curious strictly on the fact that he's 6'5". This guy, Enrique Thomas, is a zone coverage corner. I'm kind of curious about him. We'd be in more of a spot to draft him than the other guys. As for linebackers, there's not really a middle linebacker that I like. There could be this guy, though. Manny Richards, 6-foot pass rush or pass coverage, outside linebacker, decently fast, A zone coverage, B play rec. Do I need an outside linebacker that's just strictly pass coverage? I probably want another guy that can rush the passer. Like this guy, Travis Harvin, but he's not super fast. But he's got D-finesse moves. He might not be a guy. Joey Winters is a speed rusher with great speed, A finesse moves. That's intriguing. Is Devin Nix better? No, he's not. I'm curious about Joey Winters. I'm also curious about those corners. What about Jose Morgan? 6'6" at D tackle? That's kind of crazy. I'm very intrigued by you as well. So we're going to go with him. We're going to go with Joey Winters. And then we're going to pick one of those corners. It's probably going to be the 6'5" guy, strictly because he's 6'5". So, boom. Those are going to be my 3 targets. We'll know for a fact on that corner how good his true talent is. And hopefully we can grab him. Hopefully we can grab him. All right, let's go back to the players, to the prospects, see how good they actually are. So the corner is a round 1 to 2 talent. All right, so strictly on the fact that he's 6'5", I'm hopefully going to grab him. I'm also going to mark Enrique Thomas because I'm very intrigued by him as well. Where's the other guy at? It was Joey Winters, so we knew 90% on him. What did his, but we know for a fact that his block shed is A to B. Okay, Joey Winters is also a guy that I'm likely going to grab. And then we know Jose Morgan is a 6'6" D tackle with pretty good physicals. Jose Morgan looks good too. Okay, so we've got some options. Jose Morgan is round 1 to 2, so he's probably going to be our guy. We'll probably have to take him. I think we can come away with a pretty solid class. Let me just take one peek at the mock draft to see if Jose Morgan's going to go before our pick. We are the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we pick at 21. And Jose Morgan's not on the top of that. Okay, there he is. He's picked 29. So he is going to go in the first round. Where's that tight end going to go? That tight end is projected to go top 5. I'm not trading up. It'd be fun, but it's not really worth it. So we are in a good spot. We're going to start drafting. We're going to take Jose, whatever his name is, with our first round pick. First overall pick is Christian Diggs. Then you got Sean Grenard. He's going to be really good. He is going to be really, really good. I'll simulate to see where that tight end goes. He probably goes here, and he does. All right, let's skip to our pick. We should be able to grab the D tackle. Quincy James is here. I think I looked at him earlier. He didn't look as good as the other guys that I saw. What about our guys? So, okay, so Jose Morgan is on the board, and all of our other guys are on the board as well. We're going to take Jose Morgan. I think he's going to be a freak. 6'6", 310 at D tackle, 93 speed. That's our franchise D tackle right there. Jose Morgan, welcome to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Big first round pick. We don't pick again until pick 21 of the second round. So hopefully some of our guys are on the board. I doubt that other corner is there, but everybody else should be. Oh, okay, so not everybody else. Interesting. We're going to take Brenton Corbett because we need corner. And he's 6'5", and we know he's around 1 to 2 talent. He doesn't have a development trait, but he has 91 speed, 91 excel, 87 jumping, and he's 6'5". So if he has a good rookie season, he should be pretty good. And then we are going to skip to the next round, and I'll skip a couple of picks in. Do I think that guy makes it? Do I think the linebacker makes it? Maybe. Joey Winters, left outside linebacker. How many people are ahead of him? Only Travis Harvin is ahead of him. So if I want Joey Winters, I probably have to trade up. I don't know if he'll make it. But he's got that A finesse moves, and his block shed is A to B. So he's probably going to be pretty good as a pass rusher. And that's what I'm looking for here. So I think we're going to trade up into... I want to pick the draft board. I think we're going to trade up into the third round, higher up in the third round, and grab Winters. So we're going to trade with the Cardinals here. The Cardinals probably wouldn't take him, but I don't want to risk anybody taking him. So let's go to Arizona and ask for their... They have 3 third-round picks. That's kind of crazy. So they shouldn't really value this one, should they? I'll give you a 4th-round pick because we have 2 of those. So they don't like that. Okay. I'll give you a 2026 third-round pick. How's that? All right, now we're speaking some talk. I think I'm just going to have to trade. I was going to try to keep my third-round pick at pick 85, but I don't think that's going to be a good idea. It is kind of difficult to trade up. We should be able to get it done here. Yeah, 2 third-round picks to get 1 third-round pick. That's fine, I guess. And we can solidify our draft with this guy, Joey, what was his name? Winters, I think is his name. Joey Winters. Yeah, Joey Winters. I hope you're good. Hidden development. So the trade up pays off. 6'3", 85 speed, 87 excel. And we know he's got A finesse moves and A to B block shed. All right. I really wish that corner had development trait. Even if it was star. I really wish he had a development trait. But that's okay. It's all right. It's all good in the hood. We have 2 4th-round picks. We might be able to grab another corner. Although this guy's not a great athlete. Probably a waste of a pick. Rashard Bradley? Not going to take you either. Man, I might just let the CPU handle this. There's not really a lot that I like. And there's not a lot that I have scouted. So, I don't even know. Adonis Moore? Not feeling it. Not feeling it. We know that Isaiah Westerman is a round 3 to 4 talent. He's got C-man coverage. He's going to be normal development, but getting an extra corner body in there is going to help. That's going to be my last pick. We're going to let the CPU handle the rest of this first draft. We had another 4th-round pick, and I think we had maybe one other pick. I don't remember. But we got 2 corners to add to our depth. Both of them have normal development, but it wasn't the greatest corner class in general. So there's not much we can do. But we got that huge D tackle. He's going to be a freak. He's going to be an absolute freak. He ends up being a 77. That's a huge pickup. Corbett's a 73. 67 on Winters. That's not great. 70 on Westerman. Okay, that was just a flyer pick, and he ends up being a 70. Okay. The rest of them aren't amazing, but maybe they're hidden development. You never know. The CPU does tend to do that for me. Best player in the class was the left tackle, Diggs. Then you've got Fletcher, running back, and then Eric Harris was an 80. Grenard was a 79, and Jose Morgan right up there at 77. So we got one of the highest players in the class. Not the highest, but one of the highest. And we go to Season 2. We go into Season 2 with arguably a better team. I mean, we have development for some of our young guys. And this is where, this is where the drafting originally in the fantasy draft comes into play. Drafting those young guys like C.J. Stroud, like Bijan, like basically our entire offensive line with Skoronski, Paris Johnson Jr., Linderbaum, Jones. All these guys are going to continue to get better. Pickens, and hopefully CJ gets better too. We're going to keep the Jags playbook for right now. We are going to keep the Jags playbook for right now. If we need to change to Season 3, then we will. But for right now, it's going to be Season 2 Jags playbook again. And we will simulate Season 2 and see how we do. I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs. I tend in my rebuilds to have a kind of lackluster Season 2. Season 1s I usually do really well for some reason. And then Season 2s I kind of like have horrible seasons. I don't know why that happens. We'll see if that happens again. I'll catch you guys at the end of Season 2 with the results. Season 2 is wrapped up. We made the playoffs again, so at least I didn't have that second season letdown like I usually do. We actually did a little bit better. We finished 13-4, still in the wild card though, but this time playing the Titans as the home team. So we're still playing the Titans, but we're the home team this time. How did C.J. Stroud do? How did he do? 3,400 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks is a solid season from Mr. C.J. Stroud. I wanted him to drop down those interceptions, and he did. Bijan had a wonderful season, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Fantastic. No 1,000-yard receiver. If we switch to like Dallas's playbook or something like that, these numbers are going to go way up. Crazy up. But still good seasons from the boys. Good enough, I guess. Logan Wilson and Jordan Hicks again dominate all the tackles. Kelee Ringo, that's what I want to see. He's getting a lot of play time. Jose Morgan, the rookie, gets 16 tackles for loss. You love to see it. Anderson Jr. and Myles Garrett are up there as well. Garrett and Jr. both led the team with sacks with 17 and 16. Interception leader was Logan Wilson with 4, Hicks with 3. Hicks had a crazy season. 101 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, and 3 picks. Is that Defensive Player of the Year? There's a good shout it is. That would be hilarious if Jordan Hicks won Defensive Player of the Year. That would never be something I would think he would do in this modern time. Going up against the Titans again, can we get our revenge? We do. We beat the Titans. We go to the divisional round to take on the Bills. I don't know how good the Bills are in this. They're obviously good enough to make the playoffs. They are 14-3. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And we beat them 42-20, taking on the Steelers in the AFC Championship in just Season 2. Okay. Very interesting. Against the 11-6 Steelers, so they're not that good. And we will lose 27-24. I thought for a second we were going to win the AFC title and go to the Super Bowl in Season 2. That's a good sign, though. We already made the AFC title game in Season 2. So this rebuild might not take very long. Season 3 might be the day. It might be the season. And I was taking a look at the draft class. The cornerback class in this year's draft is so much better than the one from last season. The Panthers do win the Super Bowl against the Steelers. So the Vikings won and the Panthers have won so far in this rebuild. Mahomes is the MVP of the Super Bowl, but Jared Goff is the MVP of the actual league. That's weird. We win Coach of the Year, but we don't win anything else. Aaron Donald won Defensive Player of the Year. I feel like they should have gave that to Jordan Hicks. I mean, I don't know what did Aaron Donald do? What kind of season did Aaron Donald have that was better than Jordan Hicks? Show me, they have Will Levis as their quarterback, by the way. Show me Aaron Donald's season. Oh, he had 25 sacks. Yeah, I can see why he won Defensive Player of the Year. 25 sacks. But to be fair, Jordan Hicks did everything. He had picks, he had sacks, he had tackles for loss, he had actual tackles. I mean, what do we value more? I don't know. I feel like I would value a guy that's doing everything. He's tackling players, he's getting in the backfield, and he's also getting interceptions. I feel like I would value that a little bit more, but I didn't vote. I don't have a vote. So I did negotiate with most of my players. CJ Stroud was a big one that we had to renegotiate with. There was also one other really big one. I can't remember. It might have been Paris Johnson. I can't remember exactly who it was, but there was a couple pretty decent players that we needed to get back on contracts, and we did. So we don't have anybody else to negotiate with, so we can go straight to the free agency. And I'm assuming this free agency is going to be about the same as last time. Rasul Douglas, but he's 30 years old at 83 overall. Probably not worth it. A lot of safeties are in here. Is this going to be another year where I just don't sign anybody? I'm not feeling any of these guys. I'm really not feeling any of these players. Maybe Eli Ricks, just simply because he's 23. And he wants to be here too, so that's very helpful. Eli Ricks is about the only guy that I'm actually interested in, simply because he's young. But everybody else, I don't really like. I don't like the rest of this class. It's not that good. We're going to move right past. We're going to see if we get Eli Ricks. We're over the Saints. He chose to sign with us. That's a big one. Getting Eli Ricks is big because that helps the cornerback room. He probably starts over Deron Bland unless Deron Bland went up from a 78 or a 77, whatever he was. So we go generate best lineup, and then we go over to the defense. So Deron Bland has moved up a little bit. Caleb Ringo's now star development. That's awesome. Love to see that. Anderson Jr. superstar. Logan Wilson star. Honestly, Jordan Hicks should go up to star, if we're being honest. But then Eli Ricks will fill in here, and we're going to draft a corner anyway. So, because there's a really good corner in like the 3rd or 4th round projection that's a top 5 true talent. So we're definitely going to draft a corner. I'll show you guys him in a second once we simulate to the actual draft. But I think Season 3 is going to be our year, man. I really do. I don't see why not. We just made the AFC Championship. We're not getting any younger. We're only getting better. Bijan's developing. Bijan is probably getting close to a 99 as well. And I think it's time that we switch to Dallas's playbook. I'm going to switch to Dallas offense, and we're going to keep Jacksonville's defense, because Jacksonville's defense is putting up some good numbers for us. So we're going to switch to Dallas's offense, and CJ Stroud's numbers are going to go through the roof. Absolutely through the roof. But that's going to be key for our chances to win a Super Bowl this year. Absolutely key. Our splits already are pretty good. We got 89 offense, 86 defense, and an 86 overall, I think is what that said. So our splits are honestly pretty darn delicious. All right, let's take a look at this. So I'll show you guys the corner that I noticed. Not George Claiborne, although he looks really good. This guy down here is a top 5 true talent, and he is, he was round 2 to 3, not round 3 to 4. He looks pretty good. I've already got him favorited. Brian Bryant, what a name. Brian Bryant is a top 5 true talent, so we're going to take him. We're going to take him, absolutely. But there's also some pretty good corners in this class. Like, this corner class is deep. It is very, very deep. There looks like there's some pretty good players in the class. But I've already scouted a couple of the guys that I would be interested in, so I think I'm going to stay away from the rest of the corners. And we know 95% of them are anyway. Quandre Collins ends up not being as good as I might have hoped. Okay. We definitely need one other piece. I don't know what it is, but we need something else. I'm not sure what it is. I just feel like our team is missing something. Julius Burgess is a day 3 projection with elite speed. Tickle me intrigued. Tickle me intrigued. Middle linebackers. I don't know. I feel like we're missing something. I can't put my finger on what it is we're missing. But it just feels like something is not right with this team. We just need that one extra thing that puts us over the edge, and we should be like a Super Bowl team. So we're going to scout Chris Holloman, we're going to scout Kevin Friedman, and we're going to scout, where did he go? Julius Burgess. Those are going to be the 3 guys, 3 linebackers. We already know that we're going to take that corner. It's just a matter of when we take the other guys. So let's advance the week. I'm guessing since he's a top 5 true talent and he's like projected to go 2 to 3, this class is probably not going to be that highly rated in terms of like the high overalls. That's just kind of my vibe. But I will take it into account. So we know 90% on Chris Holloman. He's around 3 to 4 projection. He looks pretty decent. Is he a pass coverage guy? Yeah, he's a pass coverage outside linebacker. He can't rush the passer at all, but he doesn't look that bad. And then we know 95% on Kevin Friedman? He also looks pretty good athletically. What's his... He's a field general. Doesn't look too bad. He might be our first round pick. Why did I say this so weird? First round pick. He might be our first round pick. And then Julius Burgess. He's the elite speed guy, right? Yeah, he's the day 3 elite speed guy. What did he run? 4.57? It's not bad. He's got 8 pursuit, 8 tackling. What's his archetype? He's a run stopper. Okay. He's definitely intriguing for the late rounds. Definitely like a round 3, round 4 pick, I would say. Oh, I gotta check. I didn't want to back out there. I want to check the mock draft, see where that Friedman guy's going. Where is he gonna go? So mock draft number 5 has Friedman going before our pick. We pick at pick 30, and Friedman's going to get taken at pick 24. Is Friedman worth trading up for? That's a big question. He does look pretty solid. And he's got A to B finesse moves and power moves. I feel like Friedman is worth trading up for. Trading up to pick 24 shouldn't be that difficult because we have pick 30. So it's not that big of a gap to jump. So we should be able to get this pretty easily. And it's the Patriots. And the Patriots are stupid. They always love trading back. So they'll want to do this pretty easily, I would guess. It might even take like maybe like a 4th round pick or something, or a 5th round pick. All right, it'll probably take a 4th. I will give you a 4th round pick in 2027. How is that, New England? You're stupid. What about a 3rd round pick in 2027? We already don't have a 3rd round pick in 2026. Trade declined. I will give you a 4th round pick in 2026. Almost there. How about a 5th round pick in 2025? All right, this is taking a little bit more than I was bargaining for, but a 6th rounder in 2026. That should get it done. All right, I'll give you a 7th in 2025. How's that? There we go. Got it done. I don't know why they were hassling me for so much, but we trade up a few spots to get that linebacker. That's awesome. So let's skip to our pick, skip to our Lou. Pick 24. We pick at pick 30 in the 2nd round. Do I think the corner will be there in the 2nd round at pick 30? Probably not. We might have to trade up again. Where's Friedman? There he is. I hope you're good, Kevin Friedman, because we need you to be. He is hidden development. That makes me feel a little happier about trading up. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's a big linebacker pickup. We're going to simulate to the next round, and we're going to skip a little bit into the 2nd round. Please, oh please, do not get taken. Come on. I'm testing my luck here. I feel like I'm playing some sort of gambling game. I don't like it. I'm going to go to pick 10 with the Bears. Okay. I don't really want to risk it anymore. He probably isn't going to get taken just yet, but I do not want to risk this. So we're going to trade up with Chicago. They have two second round picks anyway, so you don't have to worry about it, Chicago. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. We have to trade up pretty significantly. 2 second round picks for a second round pick. Fine, whatever. I'm hoping we don't have to use those 2027 picks because we'll be done with the video by then. But we are going to grab that corner. I couldn't risk it anymore. We know he's a top 5 true talent. Of course, he doesn't have hidden development, but he looks amazing. With the 94 speed, 93 excel, I could have bet my entire life that he wasn't going to have a development trait because that's just my luck. But he is a top 5 true talent. We know that for a fact. And now we get to the 3rd round. Are any of my guys on my board still going to be there? Okay, there are 2 guys here. There's Burgess and Quandre Collins. I think Burgess, honestly, is better than Quandre Collins. I'm going to take Burgess? Is Quandre Collins good enough to take in the 3rd round? I don't know. Maybe if he's available in the 4th round, I'll take him. I'm going to take Julius Burgess. Normal development, but 86 speed, 86 acceleration, and he's got A pursuit, A tackling, B play rec. He's a solid backup. He's a solid backup. If that dude is there in the 4th round, I might pick him up, but I doubt he's going to be. I highly doubt he'll be there. He is there. All right, well, we got some value out of him. And he's development trait. Look at that. So we actually got, that's actually good value. If we would have taken him in the 3rd round, it probably wouldn't have been as good value. But having a development trait is actually pretty decent value. We'll end the draft there. Season 2 draft is in the books. We know we got a true top 5 talent in that corner, even though he's not a development trait. We know that he's a true top 5. So that's awesome. And we know that we got a good development trait linebacker in the Friedman guy. So we got a 75 in Friedman, a 78 in Bryant. Just that development trait's not being there sucks. Burgess is a 68, 63 for Collins, so he's a project. And then they took Jose Williams. So an interesting draft altogether. And then it looks like Parker Mixon, a running back, is an 83. Claiborne's an 82. Matt St. Louis is 78, but then right there, Bryant is tied for the 3rd highest overall player. I'd say that's a pretty big W. We got him in the 2nd round. We did a trade up to get him, but we managed to do it. That's a pretty big W. Our cornerback room is looking a lot better. And plus, corner wasn't like a big need anymore, especially with signing Eli Ricks. It wasn't certainly not as big of a need as it was in year 1. But if we go over here and we adjust the lineup, generate the best lineup, offensive line's looking solid. Defense is looking a little bit better. Now Friedman jumps in there. Corner is looking good. I really wish that we would have got a freaking star development player, or hidden development player, but that's okay. The defense is looking really, really improved. I'm liking it a lot, and I think Winters is going to start over Jimenez. And we're going to move from there. We made it to the AFC title game in Season 2. I don't see why we can't make it back in Season 3. We're going to simulate to the end of the season and find out if that's true or not. Season 3 is wrapped up, and we are back. 14-3, 3 straight playoffs. I guess I'm just a fantasy drafting legend. Do I also have to add drafting god and then like quotations fantasy drafting god as well? Because it seems like I'm just him when it comes to drafting in general. And it looks like the Dallas Cowboy playbook has truly taken CJ Stroud to the next level. He was 2nd in the league in passing yards. I mean, look at these numbers. Oh my God. 4,400 yards, 41 touchdowns to just 9 picks with a 74% completion percentage. CJ Stroud MVP conversations. It's got to be said. It's got to be said. Bijan killed it. Oh. What? 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns. Are we serial right now? That's player of the year. That's offense player of the year. I won every award. Debo and Puka absolutely killed it. Debo had 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Puka had 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns. Domination. Pure domination. Logan Wilson killed it. The rookie is going to win Rookie of the Year. I'm going to win every award. I'm going to do it. It's going to be a clean sweep. How do you not win Rookie of the Year with these numbers? These are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic numbers. Jose Morgan, 20 tackles for loss. Myles Garrett had 25.5 sacks, Defensive Player of the Year. If Aaron Donald won it with 25 last season, Myles Garrett's going to win it with 25 and a freaking half. Mark it down. Will Anderson also had 9. Deron Bland had 5 interceptions. Defensive Back of the Year, maybe. I'm going to win every award. You just watch. You just watch. I'm going to win every award. We're in the divisional round against the Jets. They're 10-7. They don't stand a chance. We're too good. We're too spicy. And we move on. 31-24 over the Jets. We now take on the Bills. Didn't we play the Bills last season and beat them? I think we did. I think we played the Bills last season and beat them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure we did. And the Vikings and Commanders are over on the other side. The Vikings won the first Super Bowl in season 1, but they didn't make... I don't even think they made the playoffs last year. Who knows? And the Steelers got bumped in the first round. They were in the Super Bowl last season. Very interesting. And the Panthers, they were the 2 seed. They just won the Super Bowl last year, and they didn't even make it out of the first round. Crazy scenes this season, but we are back where we should be. We're going to find out if we can win this AFC title game and go to the Super Bowl and hopefully win it. Because that is what we absolutely need to do. Win this game. I think we've already beaten the Bills before in this rebuild. Can we do it again? Yes, we can. 28-24, we take on the Vikings. They've already got a championship. You've already had your time in the sun. Bijan, by the way, is a true 99. You've already had your time in the sun. It's our time. Step aside. It's CJ Stroud's time. It's Bijan's time. I'm ready. They're also 14-3. Myles Garrett gets another upgrade, but he pretty much can't go up anymore. He's already a 99 in pretty much everything, I would guess. But it is time to play the Super Bowl. This is what our team will look like as we go into it. A true 99 in Bijan Robinson. CJ Stroud is a superstar development player now. Puka goes up to star development. So does Darnell Washington. Oh, the development is here, boys. The development is here. Morgan's up to superstar. Deron Bland's a star. Brian is a star. What is happening? Everybody's developing. I love the scenes. It's making me happy. It's warming my heart. And I am so ready to win this Super Bowl. Let's go and beat them Vikings back to the Stone Age.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Vikings and the Jags, and it's coming up next.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played.
We have arrived at the Super Bowl, and we're down 3-0 already, but we take a lead 7-3. I like that. Vikings are kicking field goals. It's 14-6. We got a turnover. We must have. It's 21-13 now. Come on, boys. Hold it down. Another field goal for the Vikings. Another field goal for the Vikings. It's 29. Okay, hold on. I don't know what's happening here, but they're going backwards. 4th and 1. They convert again. They tied it. Why does this always happen to me? This always happens to me. Oh, we might be in field goal range, by the way. Hold on. I might need to call a timeout. 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 There we go. I was trying to call that timeout. It wouldn't let me. 2 seconds left. This is why we drafted Justin Tucker, by the way. A 57-yarder in a dome, and they're going to ice me. That's all right. This is for the win. A lot of my Super Bowls in recent rebuild memory have been like really overtime games, really close games. I don't like it. I've been iced, but this is why we have Justin Tucker. For moments like this. This is why you draft the greatest kicker of all time. Ball game. Jaguars win. Super Bowl in 3 seasons in the fantasy draft rebuild. I'm just that good. I'm built different. I'm a fantasy draft god. Not only am I a drafting god, I'm a fantasy drafting god. CJ Stroud, Bijan Robinson, Deebo Samuel, Myles Garrett. You clowned me for all the picks. I knew. Plus adding the Dallas playbook, that was just the chef's kiss. That was the icing on top of the cake for this team. I knew that once we went to the Dallas playbook, or even the Kansas City playbook, or whatever playbook that's overpowered, any of them would have worked. I knew we were going to just take that next step. We had a beautiful regular season, and look at, that's just a wonderful picture. I want to see that in real life. I'm not even a Texans fan, but I'm a CJ Stroud fan. I want to see that in real life. If the Patriots can't win it, I would hope that CJ can win it. That would be a beautiful thing to see. But 3 seasons, that's the quickest, one of the quickest. I don't know if it is the quickest. I might have done another rebuild in 3 seasons. But that is one of the quickest for sure. One of the quickest rebuilds I have ever completed. Usually it takes me about 4 or 5 to get it done. But we've done it. We got to see who the MVP of the Super Bowl is. We got to see if we clean swept the awards. I'm talking Coach of the Year. I'm talking MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, everything. I'm talking it all. Did we do it? We got ourselves, CJ Stroud is the Super Bowl MVP, not the regular season MVP though. We do come away with Defensive Player of the Year and Coach of the Year. I don't know how CJ didn't win MVP. What did Joe Burrow do? Show me right here, right now, what Joe Burrow did that CJ didn't do. This team, by the way, is set up for a dynasty. Absolutely set up for a dynasty. What did Joe Burrow? He wasn't even top 3 in any of the numbers. What did Joe Burrow do that was better than me? At least give it to the guy that led the team or led the league. What did Joe Burrow do? Where is he at? Joe Burrow had 4,200 yards, 39 touchdowns to just 2 picks. And 75% completion percentage. And you're saying that's better because he had freaking 7 less interceptions than I did? Oh, that's annoying. I mean, I had a 1 less percentage completion percentage. I had 200 more yards. And I had more touchdowns. How in the world do they give it to, at least give it to Justin Herbert, but just because he threw 2 picks? You threw 2 picks all season. That's MVP worthy. You weren't even in the playoff. I don't even know what team he was on. Oh, that's annoying. So we don't win the MVP. We were cheated. Robbed of the MVP. But this team is absolutely set up for the future. I mean, you've got franchise players all across the offensive line. You've got franchise player at quarterback, franchise running back. You've got a franchise receiver in Puka Nacua and George Pickens, to be honest. And I mean, Deebo is a franchise receiver too, but he's a little bit older at this point. And then on defense, you've got set up for the future with Winters, Friedman, maybe Troy Anderson, maybe. You've got a franchise D-tackle. You've got a franchise pass rusher. You've got Myles Garrett, who is a franchise pass rusher. Don't get me wrong, he's a face of a franchise, but he's also getting a little bit older at this point. He's probably in his 30s. Yeah, he's 30 at this season, the 3rd season. You've got great young corners in Bryant, in Eli Ricks, in Keely Ringo, and the other guys that we drafted. You've got Petrie. I mean, this team is a dynasty in the making. Absolute dynasty. And this guy right here, Jose Morgan, our first draft pick, was the key because we were really, really bad at D-tackle. We needed to get hit on that first D-tackle, and we absolutely did. Jose Morgan knocked it out of the frickin' park. And this dude, being a rookie, Kevin Friedman, really was a good pickup. He was our first-round pick this past offseason, and he was fast. I knew he was going to be good. I didn't know if he was going to have a development trade or not, but I knew he was going to be good regardless. And Joey Winters, he's probably going to take a little bit more time to develop, but he's also super fast and super good. Those corners, I just wish one of those corners would have had a development trait right off the bat. I know that Brian Bryant, wild name by the way, I know that he does have a development trait now, but I just wish he would have had one right off the bat. He's still unbelievable. He's still showing why he's a top 5 true talent in his class. He's still really good, but I just wish he would have had one right off the bat. Everybody else is amazing. I love it all. I'm happy. I mean, these two right here, I'm so glad that I drafted the both of them. So glad that I drafted the both of them. That is going to do it for the rebuild. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I always say, if you have any other suggestions for possible rebuilds, whether it's on PlayStation or whether it's on the PC with the mods, let me know down below. I'm excited. I've got big plans for possible challenges and stuff like that in the future. So if you want to add to that, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.